North Korea is based, and I'm tired of pretending like it's not. Don't get me wrong, there's some things I'm not a fan of, like their atheism and how it's filled with Koreans, which is why I have no current plans to move there. But everything else seems pretty epic. They're ethnically and culturally homogenous. Degeneracy and crime are essentially non existent. They barely have electricity and cars, allegedly, so the streets are super clean, and there's virtually no pollution. And they all love and fear their great supreme leader, Kim Jong un. Oh, but they're communists. Well, not really, only in name. It's more like state controlled capitalism, and they prioritize nationalism, hereditary leadership, and military strength over Marxist principles, which is dope. Oh, but they have so many human rights violations. Well, first of all, human rights are fake and gay silly goose nonsense. At least the modern conception of them are, because they have no foundation in God and are subjective moral relativist gobbledygook. Our inalienable rights from God are to worship Him and pursue what is good. Now, they say that religion is illegal in North Korea, and if you're caught with a Bible, not only will you be arrested, but so will your family, which I don't know if I really believe considering there's footage of churches like Putin going to the Orthodox Church, as well as footage of Catholic Church in Pyongyang. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's religious oppression against Christians, which I disagree with, of course, but you have to understand that virtually everything bad we hear about North Korea is Western propaganda. Like, they have forced labor camps, and we're supposed to think that's a bad thing? Oh no, because in America, we make taxpayers support clothing, food, and shelter for criminals who don't contribute anything to society. I'm not saying it's the best system, but maybe if we knew that committing a crime and not abiding by the moral standards set forth by our supreme leader would lead to years of forced labor and execution for us and our loved ones, maybe there'd be a lot less crime. And I've seen videos of the supposed forced labor camps, and they're not working any harder than manual construction laborers. Now, obviously, with a lack of Catholicism, you're going to have some type of abuse, but compared to our nonsensical prison system that caters to the lowest society has to offer, North Korea sounds like they have a much more reasonable approach. And I'm sure, like everywhere, there's some type of corruption and stuff, but everything we know about North Korea is from Western propagandists who want us to hate them. You watch these videos that were allegedly smuggled out of North Korea, and everyone's super respectful, orderly, nationalistic, and they adore their supreme leader. And the cope is, oh, they're just acting because they don't want to be arrested. One, that's you just saying things without substantiating it. And two, that's how it should be. In a sane society, bad mouthing your own country or your own leader to foreign entities should be a crime and punished harshly. Oh, but what about the defectors? Oh, you mean the traitors? Also, bet you didn't know that a large portion of defectors want to go back because they see the soulless decadence of Western society and would rather live under strict order with their families than among materialism and relativism among degenerate strangers. And the famous defectors that go on Joe Rogan and do all these TED Talks on how bad North Korea is are being paid millions of dollars to badmouth their homeland. I don't trust any of them. But Kim Jong un is a dictator. Based. But they have a dictator in Saudi Arabia as well. Why isn't that a problem? Because they only hate dictators when they can't completely control them. We need a Catholic Kim Jong un. Oh, and any starvation nonsense we hear about it, if there really is any, is because Western countries refuse to work for them. The fact of the matter is, nothing can be trusted from the media about what they say regarding North Korea. Even supposed independent journalists, because they all have an agenda. And nearly every bad rumor about North Korea still sounds better than the liberal multicultural hellhole we currently live in. They hate North Korea because they are an isolationist hermit country without a central banking system and aren't subservient to Jewish or Western interests. So long live Supreme Leader Kim Jong un. Please become Catholic.